Little Easter egg. Now, let's jump into Jigsaw before we get into our questions. He doesn't just kill his victims, he traps them in situations, and they can include physical or psychological torture. Some applaud if you agree with me on some of these. Some of the most ones that stood out to me was the reverse bear trap.
Yes.
The shotgun carousel and Saw 6. And my final favorite, which gave me nightmares for like, I still have them, so they haven't ended. It's the pit of used syringes. Saw 2. That was just so. So, do you have any favorites? Any favorite traps or games that Jigsaw came up with?
Well, like I said, you know, I mean, the traps are part of these films. They don't hire me to, although you may think, oh, these are Jigsaw's traps. Well, you know, these traps are created by directors, special effects people, the producers, and they're a hugely popular part of the Saw films. And that's the reason why you go to see Saw films, to be terrified, to have the experience of that. That's not my, although, you know, I don't want to, you know, in any way make you think that I'm not interested in the traps, because I am. I particularly like the traps that somehow pick up on the karma, you know, that.
Like a pound of flesh one.
Yeah, or in Saw 2, there's a fellow who's an arsonist who ends up in a fire trap, and of course Shawnee in the needle trap, because it's established that Amanda is a junkie, and it's particularly harrowing. I loved the pig vat in Saw 3, because when in the 60s we used to call the man the pig. You know, it was always you know, the pigs are after, you know, the cops were going to do this or whatever, you know, and it really, in some way, I don't think it was as disparaging a term as you might think. It was just a word that kind of passed through our lexicon and isn't really used anymore in referring to the man. But there is a judge in Saw 3, and he ends up in a pig vat. And when I first saw that, I was like, wow, that is so humorous in a way, you know. So I liked that one. It struck me politically as very amusing.
If you could put any other celebrity in a game or test, who would it be and why?
And we're not recording this, by the way. Either you got too many or you're having a hard time.
You know, like poor. I don't want to say it. You know, I'm steering away from J-Lo. I don't know. Honestly, I'll let my wheels continue. I mean, two people came to my mind right away.
Can I come back?
I watched a half an hour of Robin Williams in a cage with a gorilla, a full-grown gorilla. There's footage of him where he climbs into a cage with this gorilla, and he's incredible. You know, I mean, he's just amazing. It's available online if you look for it.
Yeah, I've seen it. He's tickling it. He's tickling it.
And the gorilla is relating to him, and he's relating to the gorilla. So, I mean, it came to my mind because you mentioned a cage. It's worth seeing.
Yeah. Hi, Joe. My name is Savannah.
Hi.
I actually had a question. In Saw 4, under here, just go over. Actually, like, okay, so basically, Cecil ends up killing Jill's baby and your baby as well.
Uh-oh.
So, okay, so my question
One of
is,
these detail persons.
are you ready for this?
Yes.
So, are you sure? My question is, when you put him in the knife chair or the knife trap, was that a test of his will to stay alive, or was that just a revenge trap?
Was the first part about alive?
Was it a test to see if his will to stay alive was strong enough, or was it just revenge towards him after killing the baby?
No, it was to see if he had the will to stay alive. It always was, people referred to him as a serial killer and things like that, and I don't see him that way at all. He does not, he always gives people an opportunity to answer the question, how much blood are you willing to shed to stay alive? So, as extreme as that may be, that is the way I viewed him, and that's the way I always viewed him, and that's the way I viewed him with Cecil. I think he's keenly aware of Cecil's existential position as a junkie, and what a struggle that is. So even as he's doing that, he's aware of his position.
Thank you.
Hi, Tobin.
Hello, how you doing? You know how I feel about girls with bangs.
My name's Jessie.
Yeah, I know.
I was wondering, if you were personally able to create a saw trap, what would you create?
Oh, I've never thought about it, Jesse, honestly. See, you can tell that I'm not just telling you that I don't. It's not that I'm not interested in but there are people that do that for a living. That create those things for a living. And so I'm going to go back to the pig vat, because for me, the pig vat was a real commentary on our society, on the way the world is, on politics, on the justice system. I like that. I like subtle is better for me and something connected to karma. So it depends on your karma, Jess. Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. So thanks.
Hello, Tobin.
Hello.
My name is Gal. I just want to ask you, throughout your whole acting experience, what advice would you actually give to those that actually want to pursue an acting career? And what actually propelled you into your success?
It's a combination of factors. Persistence is probably because if you're out of the game, you're out of the game. It's over. If at some point in time, you want to be an actor, and you've been at it for 8 years, and somebody says, hey, Billy, I just met a guy over at Goodyear Tire. They're looking for guys to sell tires. They pay you $30,000 a year and good benefits, and they say, oh, God. Okay. Well, you can't go to auditions and sell tire and rubber for Goodyear. But if you work as a busboy or wash dishes in a restaurant, you can show up for auditions, so you're still in the game. So persist. You got to stay in the game. Do whatever you have to do to stay in the game. There's something else I wanted to tell you, but I don't remember what it was. What was the first part of your question? I know you.
Well, the first part you gave the advice about those who are seeking the acting career.
Yeah.
And the second question.
That was what I want to tell you. Don't minimize any crappy job that you can get. I'm not talking about just in the business as an actor. I mean, I've loaded mattresses on tractor trailer trucks. if it keeps you in the game, it's gold. So don't minimize those jobs, and get as much training as you can get. You know, and if you're not happy with where you're training, move to somebody else.
Training. Thank you. Thank you. Billy the Puppet still in here? Is Billy the Puppet still in here? Billy the Puppet? Billy the Puppet, come stand right here, because I want to do, we talked about this earlier, I want to do a Spooky Empire exclusive. So come on over here, Billy the Puppet. You're going to stand right over here. And what's going to happen is, we're going to pretend that since Jigsaw does traps, what if Jigsaw, here we go, I didn't even know she had a tricycle, seriously. So, since Jigsaw does traps, I thought we would explain the oldest trap in history, which is, everybody know what a Chinese finger trap is? The little Chinese finger trap. So imagine each one of you has a Chinese finger trap. And the tape recorder turns on, Billy the Puppet rolls up, and Tobin, if you could read the history of the Chinese finger trap. Yes. So this is, you are in the room and you have the Chinese finger trap.
Hello and welcome. The Chinese figure trap is a novelty toy which traps the index fingers of an unsuspecting victim inside a small cylinder. The harder the victim tries to escape, the more the finger trap tightens. As such, the Chinese finger trap has become a metaphor for struggle and offers a simple life lesson. Things are sometimes more easily accomplished if one does not try too hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tobin!